Hello guys, it's Armorek here, and in this video I'm gonna speak finally about my Diablo 4 thoughts and my experience through the both of the beta weekends. I participated in both of them and played around 70-ish hours. It's a little bit less than expected for me. I was hoping to play more, but unfortunately, for other reasons I couldn't participate more. But anyways, I collected enough information so we can speak about what happened in the beta. And also I've read and watched a lot of videos about what happened and what is currently happening in the community, what are the thoughts about the game so far, and the hopes of everybody. So let's dive into my video and take a look of what are the hot topics at the moment. The first thing I want to speak about is my overall impressions and feeling about the game. I loved it. It apparently lived up to my expectations. I was very hyped about the game, and the thing I have experienced while playing it was exactly what I was expecting. So overall the combat feels great, though there is slight issue I'm gonna speak about later about that. I hope I don't forget. And the graphics are amazing. There is a little bit of concern there also, we're gonna talk about it later. And yeah, everything that is happening in the game is nice. My initial feeling is that the developers are trying to put the players in the position where they're always surprised about something. For example, in this footage you're seeing here, I'm playing a dungeon and walking through, wandering, fighting just monsters, and oops, I see a mob. Surprise, the butcher. And the butcher was the toughest thing on the beta. He was spawning in dungeons randomly. You don't know when you encounter him, and for sure he can kill you. He's very tough. He has very hard crowd control abilities. Also, he's very fast and does a lot of damage. There are also different things like cursed shrines, cursed chests, and other things happening around you, probably treasure goblins or whatever. And yeah, the worst part of the game so far is that I need to wait 2.5 months or around 2 months, a little bit more than that, to play the game again. The other topic I want to speak about is the open world and the renown system. So this is the whole map. As you can see, the uncovered areas, the fractured peaks. We have 4 more acts, as you can see here, which will be able to play once the game launches. I thought that if you see here, for example, down here, this is one of the spots. Feels like it could have more things in there. It's just a free empty space which can be filled with something. But overall, there were a lot of things happening. I'm gonna speak about everything now. And you never find yourself wondering what to do. I mean, there can be such a situation, but it's for so little. When you open your map, there is every time happening something. So what about the renown system? The renown system is this thing you see up here on my screen right now. Essentially, you complete different activities and they're giving you points. And with these points, once you collect, for example, 100 of them, I'm sure that this is not the specific number, but anyways, it's, for example, when you collect a specific number of them, it's giving you firstly skill points and gold. Every time it's giving you gold, it may give you skill points, and also afterwards paragon points. So the renown system is very important, because you need these bonus points to complete your build and power up your character as much as possible. And how we are getting renown points? The renown points are gathered through completing the different activities, as I said. This one here, which you're seeing, I'm playing a Barb, and this is the Maunok Stronghold. The strongholds were amazing. There are also dungeons, random events which are popping around while you're traveling. Also, there were zone events, which are bigger events, and they have a timer also. And you can participate in them once they appear on the map, and if you have unlocked the area where they're happening. Also, there were side quests, Altars of Lilith, and afterwards there are different save zones. For example, in the Fractured Peaks there were overall 7 towns, I guess, something like that, with the waypoints. There were different save zones, and it's like Act 1 is one big area where you have a capital, which was Kyoshat, and there were also few more towns where you can go and salvage gear or teleport to there through your waypoint, and something like that. Overall, the town's idea was great. I enjoyed it. And the one thing about the towns was, for example, why do we have a gambler of one of these little towns and we don't have a stash? That is going through my mind, and I'm not very happy about that, to be honest. But I think this is very easy thing to resolve. So it will help players just not to teleport every damn time to kill a shot, just to take their gear into the stash and collect it, whatever. So let's speak about the strongholds first. The strongholds was alongside the dungeons were probably the best activity in the game. Also, they're giving you the most renown. So when you complete a stronghold, it's buffing your renown tremendously, and overall they feel amazing because they are dense. The monsters are higher level than you. They're tough to complete. There are objectives you need to do before you fight the boss, and the objectives were fine. I mean, they weren't something like in the dungeons, which we'll speak about later. But they were, for example, kill these monsters. There are 3 of them blocking the boss, like with Maunok. And after you deleted essentially these densities there and the shamans which are blocking the main boss, you can fight him. And once you killed everything and killed the boss, of course, you can unlock the stronghold, and it's becoming a town, a safe zone, where you can unlock another waypoint or maybe more dungeons. And it's definitely nice to have, and it's a great experience. I'm very sad that we were able only to play 3 strongholds. Let's speak about the dungeons now. The dungeons, I felt they were the best thing to do when you level up to max level, which was 25 on the beta. We were grinding experience, not when you're 25, but for leveling they're nice. Also for the loot they're nice, and overall they feel good. You're going fighting monsters. The objectives were a little bit I mean, one particular objective was the kill every monster in this part of the dungeon, because most of the times there were 2 layers for the dungeon. You do an objective, unlock a door, find a key, kill 2 elite monsters, specific monsters, and get the key, unlock the door, go to the next level, kill all of the monsters, and then you can go fight the boss. So the mechanics were a little bit, I don't know. Also, everybody was speaking about the repetitiveness of the dungeons, the layouts, the surroundings, the maps themselves, also the bosses. For example, the first weekend I was fighting the same boss over and over and over and over again. I think I've completed 7 or 8 dungeons in a row, and every damn time I got the Blood Bishop. Every damn time. Which wasn't the great experience, to be honest. Even I remembered his name. And I also encountered a few more bosses here and there. Overall, 5 or 6 bosses, something like that. And the areas where the dungeons areas, the surroundings, were also somewhere around 5 or 6. The developers said this will change once the game launches, because we will unlock the rest of the world, the open map, and there are different areas, different monsters, different bosses. The main story continues, so you unlock more and more things, which is normal for ARPG and D/MMO here. And yeah, I think this is gonna be changed. At least on launch, they're gonna be good. But I feel at some point people are gonna be like, well, we've played this 30, 40 dungeons for the past 2 or 3 seasons. Give us something new. So other thing is that if you saw the map, which I opened here, it's very linear. It's not a big open space. You can fight density, for example, or something. You're encountering 5-6 monsters or something like that, which for the beginning levels it's fine. But as a D3 player, I don't like narrow caves. I don't like narrow caves. And yeah, this is one thing that it's personally for me. But overall, despite all of the things I've mentioned, I enjoyed the dungeons very, very much. I mean, they felt nice, just they felt in place. And other thing is that you're collecting aspects for the Codex of Power through completing dungeons, which is also nice. They're giving you renown, so it's very important to do them. And despite the negative thoughts here, I felt nice playing them. So overall, I'm going through positive, but some things that maybe they can change about the dungeons is, for example, why not add a maze? You enter a dungeon and you find yourself in a vast labyrinth where you need to find the exit and then fight a boss or something like that. I mean, this may be very, very tough to complete, okay, and some people would probably wonder where to go. And I don't know, it feels something different, something fresh. Another idea that I have is connected a little bit with the next topic, which are the cellars. And the cellars were essentially little rooms where you can enter. They're almost every damn time the same layout. No, not almost. They were every damn time the same layout. And essentially, you enter, you go through a little corridor, and after that you go to left or to right if it's mirrored. And you enter one room where there are 5 monsters. You fight them, and it's completed. Maybe there can be a chest, and it can be cursed, for example. Anyways, I don't see the point. There were also side quests that were done in the cellars, but I mean, one small room with 5 monsters and the same not only layout, but the same room every damn time. Exactly the same room. I don't see the point of these cellars. I hope when we uncover the whole game, we see why the developers added them. But I thought that maybe we can take them out and make a dungeon like cellars, where you enter an enormous room which is filling with monsters over and over and over again, and it's happening like something of a chaotic event where you need to survive. Something like if you play Diablo 3 again, this is my main game, and that's where I coming from. So that is why I use D3 as a base here. But basically, something like Echoing Nightmares. This is gonna be a different dungeon. I mean, it's again a dungeon, but the idea is to enter a dungeon and to don't know what is gonna happen there. Because in the beta, once we enter a dungeon, we know, well, we have to go through a narrow corridor and go through 10 minutes wandering around, searching for cubes to put into mechanisms and fight bosses. Maybe you can encounter the butcher, but every damn time the order of things was the same, so you know what to expect, which is not I feel the idea of the developers here. I'm not a big understander of everything. I'm not professional or something in developing games, or even in playing them. I'm not a professional. I'm putting a lot of hours and I'm trying to do some content, but I can't say I'm a professional or a hardcore player, something like that. So anyways, this is a few of the ideas I came up with for the dungeons in previous updates of the game, because I think that's the way they're gonna launch. I'm almost sure about that. I have a little more of ideas, but they're very ridiculous already, so I don't think we need to speak about them at that point. So we need to speak about the random events and the zone events. So the random events were the little orange things that there is an orange area with the circle, and you're probably going for a quest, the main quest, the side quest, the dungeon, it doesn't matter, and you see something popping on your map, and this is essentially a random event happening near you. They were also very similar one to another, 5-6 different events, and they were spawning monsters. You need to kill the monsters or unlock the 4 seals, give your blood to 4 seals, and find the big elite in the end. But every damn time they were all almost similar, and after you complete them, there is a chest, it's opening, and it's giving you loot. Like, you can get legendaries, but I think on launch this is gonna be tough, because the legendary drop was buffed for the beta. But anyways, you're getting materials, and most importantly, obols, which are used in the gambling system and for the gambler. And they were the gambler at the beta was amazing. That was one of the best ways to get a legendary item. Also, one thing I forgot about the dungeons: why don't we get a chest from the boss and lower the loot drop while you go through a dungeon? I mean, I'm not saying get rid of the loot at all. Just lower it and make us want to fight the boss at the end, so we know that the boss is gonna drop the best items, for example. Leave the chance we can get a good item through the dungeon, but make the boss fight the most important thing in the dungeon, for loot especially, because on the beta the loot from the bosses was essentially the same, like through the dungeon. Maybe if you kill all of the elites in the dungeon and the butcher, you get more loot, or encounter a treasure goblin, you get more loot from the dungeon itself than for example from the boss. But whatever, this I forgot to mention it for the dungeons. Anyways, the random events are important, so they're giving you also a lot of materials, as I said, and all the obols. I'm not sure that they're giving you renown. I'm not sure about that. I don't think so, but they're something nice to have, and they're taking your attention for a little. For example, I was going to fight the world boss first time I fought a Shava. I was traveling to the area where she was going to spawn, and I encountered a little random event. I was like, well, let's complete that. There were also 2 or 3 players. We finished it for a minute and a half, get the loot, and continue my travel. So that's nice to have. This is interesting. I'm happy about them. They don't need to be very special, something very hard, or they're fine that way. Also, there were so-called zone events. For example, one of these events, I think there was only one happening. At least I participated in one. I think there wasn't any more of these. And that was when you complete the Core Dragon stronghold. There is a possibility, there is a timer and a specific time where the Gathering Legion zone event is happening. And at the moment you see me completing the Core Dragon, the Core Dragon stronghold, but afterwards there will be footage from the Gathering Legion event, and it was very nice. It felt chaotic. The monsters were very strong, higher level again than you. A lot of objectives to complete. They were similar objectives, don't get me wrong. There wasn't something special, but they felt very chaotic. A lot of stuff to do, a lot of monsters and elite monsters to kill. And after that you get a big boss. When you kill him, he drops loot, and also you have 2 chests. So that was nice. That event felt really well. I hope there are more on launch like these, so we can have a lot of fun with these. They are similar to the world boss timers. For example, when they're happening, you'll see them popping on your map somewhere and saying how much minutes there are left till the event starts. So the zone events were very nice, and there's one more, well, there are more activities actually here. The side quests. Well, the side quests were fine. I mean, I don't feel they need some changes or something. They're a filler, like the zone, not the zone events, but the random events happening. They're fillers. They don't need to be something special. They're giving you materials. They're giving you well, here is the Gathering Legion happening, for example. It doesn't matter. The side quests are giving you different things to do, and for example, you're going through the main quest, or you want to go for a dungeon, and there is a blue exclamation mark. You just go click it, and once you go through the area where the event is happening, you can complete it or do something about it, and after that, when you go back, you do it again. It's a filler for just to have an activity to do. They felt okay. I don't feel bad about them. They're nice. I don't think Blizzard need to change that, or the side quest, or not the side quests. We're talking about them right now, but the random events. I feel that they're at the right spot because they're fillers. They're not the main thing we're gonna do. They're just something bonus to do when you're traveling to your main objective. So probably Blizzard needs to pay more attention about the zone events, the strongholds, and especially the dungeons. Because the strongholds and the zone events, yeah, there was one zone event, 3 strongholds, 1 world boss. We're gonna speak about that very soon. And we had a lot of dungeons. We had around 20 dungeons overall, and we felt that we've played 6. Which was not great. That is the problem for everybody. But as I mentioned before, I think this is gonna change once we play the full game. And what else can we speak here about the side events? Well, the side quests, they're fine. They're fine. We spoke about the towns. Let's speak about the world boss first, and after that I'll catch on the altars of Lilith. So the world bosses, they're nice. I feel this is another great activity, like the strongholds, the dungeons, and the zone events, which is amazing. They're great for loot. And overall, the feeling of fighting such a big creature, and the idea of and the need of you to play with other characters and other players to be strong, so you know you can't fight it alone. Despite yeah, there was instances that players were able to solo the world boss, but yeah, that's a bug and that's gonna be fixed. And the only thing is that I want, once we enter an area and we are gathered in an area to fight a world boss and we are 12 players, let us be on the same level, man. Yeah, in the end game everybody are gonna be level 100. I don't know how many time it's gonna take, but it will happen eventually. And that's not gonna be a problem. The boss is gonna be 100, the player is gonna be 100, fine. But on the beta we were to 25, and a lot of players were just starting when the boss, the world boss spawned first and second time, and it doesn't matter. And for instance, one of my cases was I entered the area. We were only 4 out of 8 players who were in the area, and 4 of us were 25. The rest were lower, and also there were 2 druids, level 11 and level 12. First, how on earth level 11 and level 12 are gonna help us to kill the world boss? And secondly, they were druids. And we're gonna speak about the classes in the end. But overall, I think that this thing is gonna change, because I don't know how they're separating the players who are gonna take place in the event, because it's happening for everybody at the same time, but only 12 players can fight the world boss at once. So they're separating different parties, and it's like a multiverse. Simultaneously, the same thing happening again and again and again with different people in different circumstances. Whatever, that was very deep. I just want everybody to be at the same level as the boss. That's so we can be equally helping each other, and to have equal chance against the boss. That's all. And other thing about the world bosses, well, we know about 3 actually, and I've seen only 2. So the one that I haven't seen, and there is no information on YouTube about it, there was only pictures and different articles about it. It's called The Wandering Death, and yeah, we need to wait and see about that. Maybe it's a leak from the previous beta versions of the game. I don't know. But the rest, of course, Ashava, which was in the beta, and we know about Avarice. That's a big goblin boss, goblin-like. It's similar to the D3 Greed, for example. Yeah, I can't wait to see more of these big guys, the big creatures, and I hope there are a lot more, a lot, like the 15, 20, even 30. God damn it, pull as many world bosses as you can. That's a great activity. Yeah, they won't be that many, because they'll need to separate them on weeks when to spawn. I mean, but we'll see what's the idea here. But expect the unexpected from this game, because everything tends to surprise you. This is the thing that they're trying to do. That's my feeling. And the last but not the least, the Altars of Lilith. So the Altars of Lilith are little statues. There are also different statues in the open world, but they were giving you mainly mats and XP. They weren't that significant. But the Altars of Lilith are, because they're giving you renown, and also they're giving you XP and a little bit of stats. Or for example, they can give you 2 intelligence or 5 dexterity, something like that. They're not that significant as a stat, but they're giving you free renown once you find them and click them. There are a lot of altars. They are not very visible. They are tough to find. I found very few, like 10, something like that, even less in the beta, and we were able to find 26 or more. which is yeah, they're not obvious at all. They're hard to find. And imagine the situation where you went to a specific zone just to search for altars. Well, you're gonna encounter side quests, random events, maybe a world boss. You're gonna find a dungeon, you're gonna find a treasure goblin. You'll never find these altars, man. You'll never find these altars. By chance, you'll find big amount of them, but to find everyone, and I think they're not a must in order of the renown system. Well, I mean, you don't need to find them all to unlock the renown, but they're free renown points and they're giving you stats, which is important. And yeah, I think they will launch like that, but in the future we're gonna see what is gonna happen. I think there will be changes. So let's speak about the itemization a little bit. The itemization is very similar to D3.1 with elements from Diablo 2 and also a little bit Diablo Immortal, by the way. So basically, I'm not very much into the itemization, to be honest. I'm looking mainly, especially on the beta, I was looking mainly for the legendary powers. I didn't care much about the rest of the stats, to be honest. The idea of introducing mechanics like vulnerability, lucky hit, and there were more fortify, and I think there were more. It's nice. It's very interesting mechanic. There are stats buffing these effects, so that's cool. But I didn't like one thing, and that was the upgrades of the items. I don't know why, but maybe because they were very expensive as gold. And for example, I did upgraded something to level 3 out of 4, and I found an upgrade a few minutes after that. And all of the gold I put into upgrading this item, and you know, when you upgrade something, you want to use it, right? And I lost it because I found a better one, unupgraded. And Diablo Immortal, yeah, that's a bad name to use here, but it did better in this direction, because they let us transfer the upgrade, because we were upgrading the slots, not the item itself. And here we are upgrading the item. Once you change the item, you lost the upgrade. So this means more gold, more materials, which probably won't be that bad, but in early game the gold felt not enough, to be honest. 100k to upgrade a stash when you're level 20 or 10, and what was it, 10, between 5 and 10k to extract an aspect. Well, that's probably fine, because we won't be able to find as many legendaries on launch as on the beta, but still it felt very expensive. That's a little side topic of the itemization, the gold. But overall, if the economy changes, I will be fine with the upgrades, but they wasn't that meaningful. I didn't feel that I've upgraded something, to be honest. But overall, one thing that I feel is like, I thought we will be able to play every skill in the game which we like, what we like visually and as a play style. But once again, and this revolves around the skill tree also, and the skills themselves and the class balance and everything here. Actually, they locked us again to play certain skills and certain builds, like in Diablo 3, where at that point, for example, season 28, you know the Tal Rasha wizard is crushing everything, and there's nothing else that better, that's stronger than Tal Rasha. Maybe the Tragul necromancer, and that's all. There aren't more builds, more skills, more classes, whatever, that is stronger than these two. And everybody knows it, and everybody are playing that. Everybody are playing Tal Rasha wizard this season in Diablo 3. And I thought the developers are trying to get rid of this idea in Diablo 4. I was hoping to enter the game and click a skill that I like how it looks, not how strong it is. But that wasn't the initial feeling, to be honest. That's very unfortunate. For example, when I started the wizard, I played around all of the skills, and I immediately felt the difference between chain lightning and the other core skills. I was a little bit wondering for the basic skills, but yeah, the chain lightning and after that the hydra, they felt levels above the rest, man. And for example, you are guy who, or girl, doesn't matter, you're a person who wants to play Frozen Orb. Sorry, I was going to say Arcane Orb. You want to play Frozen Orb, but the Frozen Orb skill itself is atrociously bad, and you know that the Chain Lightning is better, so you go Chain Lightning. It's simple. And this is one thing that I wasn't expecting, and I heard that there is some messages from the developers in this direction about the balances of the classes, but let us speak about that later. So that's about the itemization, to be honest. That's all. I don't think there is more. And one thing that I want to say is that it's not simple at all. It may be even complexer, more complex later on, and in the beginning it wasn't that easy to understand immediately. For example, if there is a person who is not very into ARPGs, or is a very casual or a newcomer to Diablo at all, he won't find it easy to understand things immediately. So yeah, the hardcore players know this kind of itemization and they went straight into it, they're familiar with it, that's fine, but not for everybody. And yeah, I know why the hardcore players are feel like that at the moment, because they felt like Blizzard are gonna deliver something very, very special. But it's nice, it's amazing game, and yeah, they took a lot of ideas from Diablo 3, but it's normal, the game is theirs. I mean, they own it, they can do whatever they like, right? Whatever, things are gonna be changing constantly on Diablo 4, because we're expecting a lot of updates. The game will start in 2 months and a little bit, yeah, around 2 months and a week, something like that. And 3 months from now it's gonna be season 1, then half a year from now it's gonna be season 2, and after that 3 months later than that, which is 9 months, it's gonna be 9 months from now it's gonna be season 3. A year and a half or something like that, we're gonna expect an expansion. So we're gonna get constant updates, and on every update they can change whatever they like. So the balance, the systems, they will add new things, they will add new items, they will add new mechanics. We were expecting rune words, we were expecting set items. So things are gonna be changing constantly on that game, and so far I feel the game is on the right spot. Just balance the skills, for example, which we spoke about a lot. One thing I maybe can say is that we don't know what is gonna happen at level 50 and once you unlock all of the renown skill points, because afterwards we are getting paragon points. And we also don't know what is gonna happen with the paragon system. And the developers said that they balanced the game not at the exact moment, but later on, when you're progressing with the characters, they're getting stronger and equal in powers. Because for now, I think I can do a separate video to speak more in depth about every class. But so far, the druid felt two things about the druid: one positive and one very bad thing. The bad thing is that every damn skill on the druid is so weak. You're doing essentially 0 damage to the monsters. And for example, you can see some rogue play here. This is not this thing that I'm playing here. I came up with my mind. I'm certain I'm missing a lot of damage here. The rogue is doing a ton of damage, more damage than the druid. Even the barbarian, and the barbarian is not weak as most of the people are saying. Yeah, it's a little bit slower in the beginning, but it's definitely not bad, not a bad class to play. I mean, I played the barb. I'm not a barb fan. I'm not a melee fan at all. I like magic. I like range. I like the wizard. I like the necromancer. Even the rogue was very fun because it's very mobile. And the druid, the positive thing about the druid that I didn't mention is that the skills of the druid look very nice. I mean, going into werewolf or werebear or spawning tornadoes, spawning lightning, it's very fine, it's nice, it feels amazing, and at the same time it's so weak. Very weak, very weak. I started trying a build around werewolf, so everything was werewolf basically. I didn't have any legendaries, and with the monsters in the dungeons and in the open world was fairly fine. Even the elites, I was able to kill them eventually. And then I fought a werewolf boss, and the werewolf boss showed me who's the boss. So I needed to change my build entirely and level up a little. And I think I found a little 1 or 2 legendaries. They didn't even multiply anything. My skills weren't that great, but I got some defenses, and then I was able to clear the boss with this character. So the druid feels nice. It looks nice to play. The whole idea of the druid is nice, but it's so weak, man. And I think they already know that, and they buffed the skills, because it's not working without legendary powers. This is the problem. Okay, so basically that's most of the things I wanted to talk about. Even I mentioned the classes. So let's speak about, there was little issues with the user interface UI. A lot of people said that it's ridiculously bad. I don't think so. It feels nice. It's on place. It's simple. The only thing about the UI is that you need a gem stash in your inventory. That's all. You need a separate inventory for the gems. That's all. We don't need anything else. The UI works fine. Well, it's a little bit annoying that your stats in your materials are on the same button and you need to change the tabs. But, well, it's not that hard. Well, in battle it can be a little bit annoying. If you want to open your stats in battle, yeah, it can be annoying. So Blizzard can take a look into this. But for the majority of the people, I don't think it's a big problem, man. And the UI, in my opinion, is fine. Exactly on spot when with the theme of the game. So I don't feel bad about the UI. Maybe if the items were more shiny and glowy, but we'll see what is gonna happen in the game when it launches. Maybe on level 15 or level 100, we look more powerful than this dogshit archer that I have here. Okay, whatever. Something else. What can we talk about more? I'm missing something here. Yeah, I mentioned 2 things that I want to speak about in the beginning when I started, and those are concerns. One thing that I saw, a guy found a bug while playing the rogue. When you use your main skill, your basic skill, well, it may be working with the other skills, but the example was with the basic skills. He was holding his button where is the skill on, and it's throwing daggers. It's fine, it's working perfect. Once he starts spawning the button, the character starts attacking faster. And that's weird, because why? I mean, I'm a player who spawns his buttons, and this is gonna be in my advantage. But I don't feel this is something nice to have, and I think this is a bug, and that Blizzard need to fix that. There was a little bit bugs with the enchantment of the wizard, with the firebolt, I think. What else? I spoke about the gold. I didn't like the gold at all. How expensive things were and how little gold we were getting, because the best way to get gold is to level up another character and go through the renown, because the renown is giving you the most gold in the beginning, at least. And the biggest concern of mine about the launch of the game is how Blizzard are gonna manage the queues. I think they managed the queues already, it's fine. The servers are working. We saw that the first day was atrocious, and after Friday they managed to deal with it. Okay, but the lag, you can see my footage here. Even after Nvidia dropped an update for the graphic card, especially for Diablo, goddammit, and for the beta, it still was lagging, man. I was taking on the first weekend, I didn't know what was happening. It was a ton of lag, memory leaks, people were saying graphic cards overperforming or something, but there were problems with the specific graphic card, and 3080 RDX from the GeForce Nvidia, and mine is almost the same. It's 3070 Ti, and I was lagging a lot. And people with 3080s, they lost their graphic cards, which I was very anxious when I started the second weekend once I heard about that. So there's definitely something wrong, and I think that's wrong with the client, because my PCs should be able to perform this game without any problem, without a single lag. I have some issues with my internet connection, okay, that's fine, but this lag here you're seeing, it's not okay. I mean, I was playing the game on the lowest graphics possible. Everything was on low. I tried to take out everything, the shadows, the everything possible that can make a lag, and it was still laggy at times. Even after the update, every 30 or minutes or an hour, I needed to restart my game so the memory leak stops. Which is not great. I hope this is the beta client. These are my hopes about this problem, and I don't know what is gonna happen there. How many people are gonna lose their PCs, because the graphic card is essentially half of your PC. So, and I bought an expensive PC just to play and stream Diablo 4. So, if Blizzard didn't do something about that, I mean, what on earth, man? I'm very disappointed that I had problems lagging playing the game. That was very, very bad experience. So this is the biggest concern I have about the game. Really, nothing else is more concerning than destroying my graphic card, to be honest. And yeah, other things are very manageable with everything. The Blizzard can take a look at it and fix it at some point. I don't feel that anything that I mentioned is not fixable. There are not such a great problems. Also, we are playing an old version of the game, so they already have fixed half of the problems we're speaking about here. And overall, the game feels great. I mean, a lot of the people are going very deep with the systems, with the itemization, with the combat, with the skills. As I was as I tried in this video also. But the most important thing when you start a game and when you finish the game and when you wake up, and the feeling, how do you feel about the game? Do you like, what are you experiencing when you're playing it? And do you feel the it's not a need, because it sounds bad, but do you feel like you don't have the ability to wait more, and you just want to play, you can't wait to play, you're impatient about it, you just want to feel the game again? That's the most important thing in my opinion, and I felt like that. And I'm very sad that there is no D4 in the next few months. I'm very sad about it. And I'm very happy that they're not 3 months, but 2. Yeah, I'm on the 2nd of June, I'm starting the game. And now it's the 30th of March, which means essentially April. So we have 2 months to wait. And yeah, I felt very great about the game. In this video, I just tried to mention the things that I noticed and I think can be looked into, but they're not something that is breaking the game or is gonna take away all of the players, or it's gonna ruin everybody's experience in the game. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, there will be people who already refunded the game and said that it's dog shit and it's imbalanced, that there are annoying systems. I go play PoE because it's more interesting, it's more in depth. Yeah, I mean, it's more in depth. I'm sure it's more in depth and there are more systems. I've played PoE through half of the game, and yeah, some people are gonna laugh about it and they're gonna say, what do you know about ARPGs? Well, I've been playing ARPGs since a kid. I'm not a hardcore player, but I've been playing since a kid. And I'm the Diablo is my favorite ARPG. The Diablo 2, Diablo 3, the Diablo 3 got me especially very much deeper into the ARPGs, and now I can't wait for Diablo 4. So, and the thing that the game lived up to my expectations was literally amazing. So I hope that people feel the same, and we have a nice experience, because Blizzard are gonna change the game a lot. Don't expect to see this absolutely the same thing on launch, according to the one which was in the beta. Definitely there are gonna be different things, and I'm sure that at least for the first few years, until the first expansion, the game is gonna be perfect for playing, and it's gonna be very nice experience for everybody who wants just to tune in for a few hours and have fun. It doesn't matter solo on with friends or whatever. So basically my feedback is positive. I liked the game. It feels amazing. I'm just praying that they will take a look at most of the topics that we spoke about today. So yeah, overall it's very long video. Nobody's gonna watch that because I have almost 20 followers on YouTube and I'm doing a 1-hour video. Perfect Arma, perfect man, nice job. Anyways, thank you guys, thanks to everybody who tried to watch my video. Let me know what do you think in the comments below. I'll be very happy if you drop a like or a follow, and also you can follow me on Twitch, where I'm streaming very often, and also I have Twitter and TikTok. You can take a look at these also. Thank you very much for being here, and we're gonna speak more about Diablo 4 in the future, and I'm definitely going to play more Diablo 4 in the future. Thank you guys, see you very soon, bye.